One of the things I'm most excited about this year is Cat's Junior Angler Program. Last year at Cedar Creek in the fall was our first tournament where we started implementing the new CAT rule. CAT's new rule involving junior anglers is you're allowed to have a third person in the boat during tournaments as long as they're a junior angler. And a junior angler is defined as any angler that doesn't need a Texas State fishing license. I'd like to ask Michael Borden to come up. Michael's graciously volunteered to give us a seminar today titled Fishing with Kids. Michael's got a lot of good ideas, especially for our younger junior anglers. When we take them out into tournaments, you know, it might not be realistic to expect our 6-year-olds to stay hooked up and fish all day. But Michael's got a lot of ideas. He's taken a lot of kids fishing, and I think he can give us a lot of insight as to some of the ideas that we can use on the water to help make our junior anglers' days more enjoyable. So at this time, please give a round of applause to Mr. Michael Borden.
So fishing with kids. I started fishing when I was about 3 years old with my dad. I grew up in Long Island, New York. Please don't shoot me for that or anything. And I started fishing for flounder. Now, probably one of the reasons why I like crappie so much is they're roughly the same size fish and you catch roughly the same amount. 40 or 50 fish is a really good day. So when I came to Texas, I got addicted to crappie fishing right away. So what I'd like to do is start off with a couple of examples that I've witnessed on the water of fishing with kids. How many have ever told their wives, hey, I'm going fishing this weekend, and they said, as long as you take the kids with you? Anybody had that happen? Well, one of the things I'm going to recommend is, yeah, sometimes take your kids fishing, but there are other days when you might want to push back and say, you know what, I need some time by myself. I want to go out there and fish alone this time. The reason why I say that is I've seen a lot of examples on the water of people fishing with their kids. I want to give one good example and one bad example. I remember a trip that really stands out in my mind when I lived in Florida. I was fishing off a jetty catching sheep's head, if y'all have ever done that. And I was into the fish real good, catching one after the other. Well, a dad pulled up in a little bass tracker with about a 3 or 4-year-old boy. And he was out there for 3-4 hours. They caught 3 fish. But they had a ball. I mean, they were in there. He'd hook a fish. It was going all around the boat. You know when little kids get that voice where they're going, ah! You know, they get so excited. That he was grabbing the net and dipping it around. The dad was talking real calm to him. It's all right, but put it this way, hitting the fish in the head and all that. And they just had a blast. And I thought to myself, man, that's the way to do it. That's the way to go out and have a good time with your kid. Now, on the bad example, I fish Lavon a lot. I've been out at Lavon and I've seen where the kids are constantly being told to sit down and be quiet. They're not involved with the fishing at all. And I've seen the dad miss a fish, the kid's 12 feet away from him, turn around and blame the kid for missing the fish. So that's the other extreme. And that's why I recommend if you need a day out on the water by yourself, do it by yourself. That's my recommendation. Now another big deal is a dip net, especially for 5 and under. If you get, say, a pound of minnows, get you a little bucket like this right here and put about a dozen minnows in it and give them a dip net. I've had both my daughters and neighbors' kids occupied for hours in the back of the boat with that, just dipping minnows in and out. If you don't give them that, they're going to kill your minnows. Just a warning up front. Okay, we'll get that in just a minute. Thank you. Now, Molly, is there anything you'd like to say? Do you like to fish? How many fish do you catch? How old are you?
4.
And what was the biggest fish you ever caught? Show me. All right. She's a fisherman. Thank you. Go ahead. You can go now. Thank you. All right. But number one quote that I've ever heard from a kid, 5-year-old neighbor, just got back from fishing. We got some crappie and we got some sand bass. And after the trip, while cleaning the catch, she walked over like this and said, put her hands on her hips and went, "Boy, you sure are lucky you took me fishing."
Okay, at this time, the primary reason, of course, we're all here is to attend the seminar with 7-time national champion Ronnie Capps. Ronnie is not only a great crappie fisherman, as I've learned over the last day or so. He and his wife are just really down-to-earth, wonderful people, and it is indeed a great pleasure for the Crappie Anglers of Texas Club. And at this time, let's give a roaring applause to Mr. Ronnie Capps.
First, I want to just say that I'm honored that you thought, Jimmy, or your club, your board thought that I guess had the ability to be that. I can eliminate a lot of water quick just based on what I know. It's a long answer that I had to tell you about, but I can tell you I love to eyeball water quality. I can look at a green tinted water and know that I'm way better off here than I am in a clear water where I can see 3 feet. Fishing for crappie anyway. More fertile water is real important to me. Upper reaches of any river system, reservoir, typically where you got influx of all sorts of nasty looking water coming out of fields, whatever, runoff. The food chain is just so much more rich. As a result, the fish usually a little bit bigger, and it don't take very much for them to be a little bit bigger in a tournament. An ounce will win or lose you a tournament sometimes. So that's kind of my answer, but I got a bunch of stuff I could talk to you about. Maybe we'll get to some of it and it'll pay off. Most often I use it's a B&M Pro Staff, that Pro Staff 14. That 14 footer is the best one. It's a lot stiffer than this pole for sure. I got a unique crankbait tie-up that I could tell you about if you want some detail. But I usually push crankbaits rather than pull them. Alrighty, go Paul.
If you troll an area, say you found fish on a 100-yard stretch.
Yep.
Troll that area. Would you turn around and go back?
Definitely. Depending on the numbers that I'm catching, I mean the size and that kind of thing. But and I'm relating it right now to something I've done that I remember doing. It's I'm thinking of Arca Butler Lake right now, a tournament that I won. Here is a real good thing to remember when you're if you're fishing in places there's not a lot of fish and your GPS has got some extra marks left in it. Mine sometimes don't. It's completely jam full. But I like to mark, whether it's on structure or not, every fish I catch. And in the Arca Butler Lake where he's fishing there, it was really no structure, contour kind of thing, period. It was a gradual depth change that was spread out over several yards, if you will, where the depth kind of went from like 7.3 to 8.6. That was the range that we was catching those fish in. We zigzagged an area, fishing minnow rigs, pretty heavy minnow rigs, just covering ground, pre-fishing, and I started marking every fish I caught. For no rhyme or reason, we'd catch a fish out in the middle of wild blue yonder around nothing. And I started marking those fish. After about 8 or 10 fish, I kind of could see a pattern. Every time that I'd make the cover, I'd cover the 8 foot even, I was getting bit right here. And I'd get shallower, nothing. Start coming out at 8 foot, getting bit again here. And it was almost like a pattern. You could see a line, a straight line where the fish kind of wanted to be.
On behalf of the Crappie Anglers of Texas, the membership and the board, you are now an honorary member of the Crappie Anglers of Texas Club. and in appreciation
Cool.
for this, something else you can, I know you only have a few trophies or something like that.
That's important.
This is something else you can do that, but we really do appreciate you guys coming down here, sharing this wealth of information. And like I said, we're going to hang around and we'll have some things afterwards, but we're going to do the raffle next. But really on behalf of the club, it's been tremendous. It scares me to think how much you know, and I hear about the precise between the difference of the depths of this, and I'm always going, eh. So, wow, that's all I can say. So,
Pretty.
I might also add on a junior program, you said, you spoke that up. In August, the board is considering doing something on the junior program. Wes is working on some things, so we are thinking along the same lines to do something. And I might as well mention it's a half-baked idea again, but we're also thinking about having what we call the a novice tournament, where those that have never participated in a tournament, they would be able to go. We do not participate. We'll run the tournament, do the weigh, and you do all that kind of stuff like you normally would do, just so you get the feel to see it and see the boats, and it's just a whole different atmosphere. And give those people that would like to, well, I'm not good enough to be in a tournament. Well, if I had that attitude, I wouldn't have been in a tournament either. So it'll give people to, our anglers an opportunity to fish in something that was nothing at stake really. Yeah, we'll have prizes and things like that, probably a fish fry or whatever it ends up being, the food, and we'll do that too. So those are some ideas we're thinking about doing, and the time frame is August for that.
I appreciate the offer because I'm usually not the guy that's talking. I'm usually the guy that's fishing. I've done way more fishing than Wally done talking. Put it that way. How about that? Anyway, I just appreciate the offer. Hope I get to come back.
Thanks for coming, Ron.
Yep.
All right, gang, get your raffle tickets ready.
Whoa.
We'll raffle off a few things.